So I got the tractor in here in the last video, and since then I dropped it down, or took the wheels off, dropped it down pretty much as low as I can there, and that is so I can get the roll cage on and starting to get the cab built back, because if you've seen my previous videos on this restoration on this tractor, you probably seen that the cab was pretty rusted. And in this video I'll be starting on not completely remaking it, but at least from kind of this height here and down will be mostly remade at least. And in this video I will be starting on making the floor here, and that was pretty well gone on both sides. But before I start on that, I'm gonna go ahead and get the roll cage in, so let's do that now. So worked out pretty perfectly. I thought I wouldn't make it in with a tractor because, well, it's kind of, I thought I maybe hit the roof, and I didn't really do that with the tractor. And then I thought it wouldn't go in far enough because it would hit here, but that was no problem. And then when I was going in, I'm going up here, and then I have to lower it, and then I have to go really slow. Because it's a one-stage clutch on the tractor, the hydraulics kind of lower it if you push the clutch down. And then this sinks down, so that's kind of hard, but that turned out perfectly. So now it's just to get this bolted down and start welding some stuff. So I've been here working, as you can see, and I try to figure out how I'm gonna make this floor here. And that's about what I've done for half a day or something now. But now I kind of know how I'm gonna do it here. And then I also drilled out and tapped these two holes because the threads were all stripped in there. And then I drilled a hole there, and then you'll see what that is for later. And that took like, I don't know, 40 minutes or something to make that hole, because it was some tough stuff to tap through. So that was, yeah, that was really hard. I was scared of breaking that tap, but, and now I'm gonna make a little plate here, and then I'm gonna put a tube here for the floor. And then another thing is this floor is just made out of free mill sheet metal, and then they just bent down the edges 90 degrees like that, and that's what is giving it its strength. But I'm just gonna make it out of square tubing instead, and then just put sheet metal on the top. So I got 2 plates made here. Now it should just be to bolt it on with some bolts I had. So I got the door there, and I put that on the hinges, and then I put this. I measured from there to where the door ended, roughly. It doesn't need to be super exact right now, but so and then I cut this piece to the right length, and then I put this piece in here because I want that piece to be parallel with this here. So I put that in, and then I'm gonna take a level here and get that thing plumb. I'm gonna try to hold it there too. And then this is hard to do with one hand, but then I'm gonna measure between the level there and the tube there, and then I'm just gonna take the same measurement out here, so I get that piece there parallel. So what I'm trying to explain here is just that I want the side of the floor to be parallel with the rest of the roll cage. Which I don't know if I did too good of a job, but I'm just trying to explain how I'm making sure it is parallel. So now I got that thing back on, and I have this plumb here. That's 8.5 right there. Let's just see. That's 9. So let's see here. I got this level plumb here. Gonna open the welding brake. It's gonna be 8.5 there roughly. Yeah, that's pretty close right there. So I'm gonna start here, and this is not gonna be here. It's gonna be one of these little rubber dampeners later, but I don't have any of them now. And it's gonna be this piece, and then this is gonna go here. That. So I'm just gonna tack that in like that. Then I'm gonna put some little pieces in here to support the sheet steel on top. I just hope it ended up being level too. Not really. I think that's close enough. I got 2 pieces on 17 centimeters here, and I just to tack these on here, and I marked it how far I want it this way, because remember the floor should go down here. I don't know if you can see that piece. No, the piece I put in down there before is a bit lower because the floor has angled down and then it continues. And this is, the angle is going to be like right there, I think. Perfect. And it doesn't need to be square, but I think it's perfectly square too. So I ended up not making that long piece. I'm gonna make this little piece here instead, and that is to support the one end of that long piece that was gonna go here, if you understand. So let's get these tacked together here. Got this welded together, and it's gonna go right here. Oh. Let's get this thing in here. It's hitting the axle here. So now this piece looks like this, and oh, I did need to remake it more than once because I don't know, I'm stupid or something. I didn't think what I was doing, so yeah. Now it should fit. So now it's finally there, and it fits pretty good, I think. I just hope it's long enough. So let's see here. This piece is gonna be 60 like 6. So this is how far I got today. I got this welded in here, it turned out, and I cut that long, so yeah. I can just cut that off later, just like that one, that piece right there. And then these two I also got welded in there. And they are just to support the plate that I'm gonna put on top of this in the corner there, and really out to the side here. I thought it was a bit too little to just hit that one. And then I'll be back tomorrow and continuing with this lower section of the floor here. And this will be a little tricky to get this angle that is gonna go up here and also gonna be angled. Yeah, we'll see. That's tomorrow's problem. And I should say here, I thought I said it, but probably edit that out maybe, or maybe I didn't say it, but whatever. When I put the tractor up and loaded it down, I made sure I used the machine surface and made sure that it was pretty well perfectly level. So that is why I can use the level to make sure I'm in the right place height-wise, if that made any sense. I'm gonna get some shoot little pieces here. And then I'm gonna get, yeah, not this piece, but some other little pieces right here to make this stick here. Got these two pieces cut here. It's gonna fit in here. That was a bit of a, took a little while to make this fit. And yeah, this one goes in there, but especially when I couldn't cut this at an angle because this other piece here is coming out to it. Just had to cut that straight, and if I just cut it straight down, then I would have a, you know, wouldn't look particularly nice. So cut this out right there. So let's get these welded in. So I got the door put in here, and now I'm gonna try to show you what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna, the floor is really gonna go like this at an angle here, but then it also should go down, which will be quite tricky. So I have to put a piece out here, and it's gonna go down, and this is gonna be a little piece going here, and this is gonna be a tube going up here. And that is gonna follow the shape of the door, but I won't make that right now. But I'm gonna try to get this, I don't know, this angle here done now. So this is all welded on. That took definitely a bit of thinking and trying to get this all right, but and I had to cut it off and weld it on like probably more times than I showed there, because if I had this little piece I had, and this is gonna get, this piece that is gonna go up here, it's gonna be long and go and connect up there, and it's gonna be bent, and then I'm just gonna bolt it on down here because I want to weld the actual fender here that is gonna go here to this square tubing here, and then I want to if I could get this in here. I wanted to weld the sheet metal there, more on the middle, not right on the edge. It almost ended up out, like just on the corner here ended up. I wanted it a bit further in, so I think this is perfect. And then I also had to fix so these all line up. Right there, they all line up, but now it's all good. I also put on some little pieces here, so these little rubber cushioners can go between there. And now it's just to see if we can get this off, and I hope I can get it out at least. I haven't actually checked that, but I think I can. Now it's at least out. It will be a trick getting it in later, but yeah. Now it's out enough to start to finish welding this thing. So I got this bolted on here, and that fit actually very nice. I thought to say I should put, not this piece, but the same size here, so I could bolt the fender to this, but I just thought, and that's because the old ones had a kind of similar design, but I thought, right now, why just not take a bolt and just drill holes right into this and bolt it to that? And then I don't need this piece because these are not super wide and I don't have a lot of space left there to put a bolt in to hold the, I mean I could bolt it here I suppose, but I would like to get some bolts here too to hold the floor in place. So I'm just thinking I'm just gonna bolt it to that. That should be plenty solid, I think. Here I'm just getting started on the sheet metal for the lower part of the floor. So I got this marked out, and then I scored a line with the angle grinder, so I don't have to bend free mill because I think that's a little too thick. Bend. This works. Man, still very tough. Might have to cut more. Oh man. This stuff is tough. This stuff is tough. looks nice on this side at least. And then on this side I'm just gonna run that and just weld that up later. And so the second bend here. So I don't know what the last thing you saw were, but because it was quite a while ago, I did filmed the last bit here. I've cut these out for the brake pedal here, and I also got that cut out there, and now it seems to fit pretty good. Though I did miss a little bit on these, so they were a little too far away, so it's a bit too much gap here, but it doesn't matter, because all this is going to get covered up with a rubber sheet mat, so it all looks nice. And that also will close up this hole, and you know, all this stuff and everything. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the other sheet too. So that's fitting there absolutely perfectly. I couldn't be much better. Well, I could, I suppose. That I didn't. If I didn't need to cut it to bend it, that would be even more perfect. But well, it's not bad. Not bad at all. It's very good. Extremely happy with that. I'm just gonna cut a few notches in it and. Well, I can't bolt it down because I don't have any bolts. But, except that it will just be to bolt it down after that. So let's get this marked out for that. And that cut out there. It seems to fit. Except down here, this casting, I can see that now, it's not in the same line, it's slightly further bigger, so it gets further out here. So, life is very nice. I wish you could cut this out here. The pedals here. So let's try to drill 2 holes here to get it nice and round here. So this is what it looked like, pretty nice. I just deburred it a little bit here with a file. And so I can just slip it in here. What? What in the world? These doesn't line up perfectly. These should be like that. Come on. When it's flush here, there, it doesn't line up there for some reason. I don't know why. But what I can do is to make it line. Wait a minute. Now it lines up. This wasn't pushed in all the way. Zoom out a little. This wasn't pushed in all the way. That's also, so this wasn't pushed in when I marked it. That's also why these got a little off, but now it lines up pretty good. Still not perfect. I'll just line it up there, and then I'm just gonna take off 2 mil or something off this edge, and then it should be perfect then. So I got these 2 pieces made here. And this one just fits in here. And this one is just gonna get bolted on. But this one I'm gonna weld on here. And I could have made this whole piece, both of these pieces out of one piece, but I don't know. Now it didn't, so let's get this welded on here. So I got this tacked up a little here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get started now on welding this, forward weld this. And that will be quite a long process because I really don't want this to warp. You can't just go ahead and weld the whole thing because then it will not have the right angle anymore and this will just get all weird. So you're just gonna go ahead and weld a little bit, and then you weld a little here and a little in the middle maybe. And then you let it cool down, and then you can continue. What I'm doing here for the floor to not warp is I'm giving it 4 tacks or so in one place. Between every tack I let the orange color disappear, and then I do another tack, and then I take in the air and just cooling it down a bit, and then I'm going to different place and doing the same thing till the whole thing is fully welded. So I'll tack this to the bench here so it's all sturdy, and let's see if we can get some holes here for the footstep. So I got these pieces bolted in here. Let's get this step here welded on. So these are all ground now and all nice and welded up, and I put them in place, and then I would try to mark out how I want to kind of fix this up here, and then this is going to get cut off at an angle here, and then I took this so I can get it, you know, mark right there, because a regular pen doesn't really work, because then it would kind of mark, you know, it's not particularly precise, because I want it to go, you know, straight there, not like this is too far out or in. And then this I try to mark out here. I don't know how this will turn out, because it's kind of tricky to mark this out, because it's gonna come up one of these pieces in here that the fender is gonna connect to, so I don't know how this will turn out. I can modify that later, but let's cut that out now. So this fits pretty good now. This turned out pretty good. This cut here, and then here I just spent tons of time trying to get that perfect, and I think it turned out pretty good now. That's how it will look. I'll have to trim that off a little there, but except that, and that gap should be there. That's because that thing is put on an angle, so it doesn't even touch in there, but that doesn't matter. And now that's all good there. And now I've got in a pile of bolts and washers here. So I'm gonna drill not a pile of holes, but quite a bit of holes, and then tap them so I can bolt these plates down. I don't know what I was thinking putting these bolts in here. I'm gonna go ahead and change that around, obviously, to some countersunk bolts, so they're the screws maybe, so they are flush with the floor and not sticking up. So I got all these holes drilled. Now it's just to take the sheet metal off and then start tapping on these holes. I've tapped all these holes now, and let's see if it will fit now. So that fitted real nice, I think. All the hole lines up. So first I drilled with a 5mm drill bit straight through this. Both this sheet metal and the square tubing here. And then I took these off and then I drilled this 6mm. So now the bolt fits through here. And then 5mm was the right size to tap. And that is so all the hole lines up perfectly. It's a quite easy way of doing it and it works pretty good. Let's see if we can get a few bolts in here now. So let's get the rest of this in now. Oh, there we go. The floor is finished, on this side at least. That has turned out great, I think. Just took a long time to do it, but it's worth it. Definitely worth it. That just turned out so nice. Let's just see if we can do that on this side too, because it's pretty much just to mirror it. Pretty nice. So far so good at least. But I still need the sheet metal on there. Perfect. That turned out just perfect. Pretty good. I'm really happy with that. Yeah. And this side is pretty much as the other side, except I did go ahead and kind of, I don't know, angle this down here because the old floor had that. And I don't know if it's necessary or not, but I did it because I think the steering bar that is going out here potentially would hit the floor if it is in the same height as here. I don't know, so I just did this. It was better doing it now than redoing it later. And that's about the only difference, except it's just one hole because it's just one pedal here. And I had to make a new step piece because the old one was missing here. And that's it. The floor is done now. And yeah, it's just to continue then on the roll cage. It's kind of rusty. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.